welcome back to Mariana Mass Books. My name is Mariana and today I am here with a reading plans video for 2026. I've been wanting to film. I had so many ideas for end of the year videos, but I'm currently participating in a local readathon that happens every year in the dates of December 12th to January 6th, and I participate with my mom and my sister and we get pretty into it. There are 3 weeks, 10 books, 10 prompts, so we have a group chat where we update our progress and stuff, and we are very into it at the moment. So every time I have time where I could film, I think, oh, but I could be reading instead for the readathon. So instead of filming, I read for that local readathon. Maybe I'll talk about it more in another video. Yeah, I hadn't filmed. So I do want to do like an end of the year wrap up best books type of video, but I think I'm going to do that in January. And then also I have to do a book haul. I have bought and received as gifts a lot of books that I have 2 big piles right next to me over the course of the past few months. In November, I went to Mexico City to visit my sister with my mom. We went to bookstore, a museum, and I got a lot of books. And then it was my birthday on December 13th, so I gifted myself books, and then people gifted me books. And then also it was Christmas, so I gifted myself books and people gifted me books. So the pile has been growing. So I do want to do a book haul. And then I want to do a separate book haul for history specific books, to do like a Historathon specific video, new history books that I have gotten. And also I still have Dia de Reyes, which is, I think, Epiphany is January 5th and 6th, which is when in Mexico we get gifts. Like instead of Santa Claus, it's the 3 wise men, the Reyes Magos. Anyway, I know I'm getting some books for Reyes Magos as well, and they are history books. So after Reyes Magos, I will do a history specific book haul, so for Historathon. But for now, I wanted to upload on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depending on when I edit this, a reading plans video for 2026. I am very excited about my plans. As you know, if you've watched my channel, for the second half of the year I didn't upload many videos. I had surgery. It was a pretty major deal. My 6th surgery, 3rd kidney surgery. I had a lot of complications. The recovery was kind of tough. Anyway, I had been reading, but I wasn't really having a lot of energy to keep up with 3 channels, because I have this channel, I have the tarot channel, and then I have my in real life work channel. So I didn't upload many videos. I was reading mostly comfort stuff, romance, that type of thing, with some fantasy. So I hadn't been doing a lot of videos, but now I am really motivated for the year, and this readathon that I'm participating in, it has a lot to do with it, because I do get super motivated because my sister and my mom and me, we do it together and we have our group chat. Then in November we're already like hyping each other up when the prompts are going to be released. They are released on December 1st, and then we share our TBRs and stuff. So that gets me pretty motivated. So I've been reading a ton in December, and of course the end of the year videos. I've been watching a lot of best books videos, and Historathon announcements. So I'm getting really hyped for the next year. So I wanted to do this video for my reading plans. I also wanted to do some channel plans. Those are actually pretty simple, so I'm going to do them at the beginning because they will function as like a disclaimer of sorts. So the first is that I want to edit my videos less. I've been saying that for the past few videos, but then I have a hard time doing it. So this year I actually want to edit less because yeah, and then also not focus so much on the production side of videos. As you know, I don't have a lot of production anyway. I just film in my room with my phone. I don't have a microphone or anything. I use natural lighting. But because of that, then I do have to like put up the tripod for my phone and mind the lighting, and then if it's rainy and there's not good lighting, then I don't do it. Or if I didn't have energy earlier in the day and the light goes away, then I don't film. And usually I have most energy at night or at the evening. So I decided to like not mind as much, make that purpose plan for the next year, to reduce the editing and reduce the production of the videos. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I just put like a regular side lamp next to me. So that's that with the channel plans, and that's also to make it easier for me to keep up with my channels. As I said, I have 3 channels. I have my work channel, I have my tarot channel, and I have my book channel. And of course, you can't do everything. You know, you don't have time, you don't have energy to do everything, but to make it easier on myself to be a little more consistent with both my hobby channels and my work channel, which I'm not going to talk about here, but I kind of also want to like reduce the editing and the production in those. That will make it easier to like keep up with the channels. But as for the reading plans, I basically have three main goals, 3 main challenges, 3 main plans for the year that are going to be my main focus. And then sprinkled in, it's obviously mood, reading, and the booktube events that I love participating in that are throughout the year. So like for instance, the ones I know that I will be wanting to participate in are Framed in September and Shorty September, which are both September readathons. So those for sure I will want to participate. And then there are others that throughout the year catch my eye and I want to do them. But as I said, those are going to be like sprinkled on top of the main goals and of the main challenges. And usually what I'll do is like double up or triple. So for instance, if I'm going to be reading for Shorty September or Framed in September, then I will pick books that will work for both. And then for instance, for the ones that will work also for other readathons I'm doing. So for instance, if I'm doing Framed in September, I might pick an art history book that will fit for the quarter, correspondent quarter of Historathon that we are doing at that moment. That kind of a thing. I actually, now I remember that I did film a video that I never posted where I talked about like a wrap up kind of the reading that I did for the past few months, and I talked about the books that I read for Shorty September and for Framed in September, especially for Framed in September because I had a lot of fun with Framed in September this year. And I filmed the video and then I never got around to posting it. I don't know. I don't think I'll post it. I'm not going to. Yeah, no, I don't think I will post it. But yeah, so that's what I will do. So my main three goals. Oh, okay. Just one more thing. I love year-long challenges. So my first year on BookTube, I was doing the Reading Women Challenge. I think I did it my first couple of years on BookTube, and then sadly, that challenge disappeared. The booktuber who ran that challenge, she no longer uploads a lot and she stopped doing the challenge. I would have kept it up for all these years, but it went away. But so I really love year-long challenges. I prefer them to month challenges, and of course, weekend readathons, and those are the ones I never do because anyway, I'm not talking about that right now. Point being, I love year-long challenges, and I really, really wanted a year-long challenge for this year. Of course, my first main goal plan is a year-long channel, which is Historathon, which, as you know, I've done since the beginning. The first year I was one of the co-hosts, but then I kind of stepped back as a co-host. I always end up doing Historathon videos anyway, but all that to say that I've been participating since the beginning of Historathon. I think this is the fourth year, which is super cool. And as I said, it's a year-long channel. No, challenge. So it's I'm sure if you follow my channel you already know what Historathon is, but I'll just give you the summary. It's a year-long reading challenge to read non-fiction history. So the year is divided into 4 quarters and we go chronologically. So the first quarter is prehistory up to 500, and then 500 to 1500 is quarter 2, and then 1500 to 1820 is quarter 3, and then 1820 to the present is quarter 4. And it's just non-fiction history. So I've been doing that since the beginning, and I have a lot of fun. I mostly focus on Mexican history, but I also love European medieval history. So for quarter 2, I do read some medieval history, medieval European history, even though in general my main focus is Mexican history, from ancient Mexico to actually I haven't been doing a lot of contemporary stuff. I always struggle with contemporary, or not contemporary, but more like modern history. I feel like I get to the 19th century, and then after the 19th century I kind of like it gets too close for comfort. So, but this year I've been buying a lot of books, and I've bought some books that work so well for quarter 4 that are Mexican history that I will show off when I do a Historathon video. So this year I'm actually also, or next year, I mean 2026, I'm also super excited for quarter 4. And for quarter 1, I will be focusing outside of Mexico. I think I will be focusing on Greece for quarter 1. I wasn't going to talk specifics, so yeah. So I will do a specific Historathon video where I will talk specifics. For this video, I will just say Historathon is one of my main 3 reading goals of the year, and it is year long. However, I do like a year-long challenge with prompts. So like a different prompt for every month. I don't always keep the month to month. Like I will try to get all 12 prompts done. It never happens, but I try. but not necessarily in order. Usually, this year I want to try to do them in order, but so I do love having prompts. I find it super fun to have a list of prompts and make a TBR, make a list, because it just feels like a scavenger hunt, to do the research, look into books that fit every prompt. It's super fun for me. And Historathon doesn't have prompts. It's just the prompts are just the time periods, and then you read whatever book you want for that time period. And then, of course, speaking of Historathon, I also read off quarter. So, like, I will read a book or two or whatever that belongs to that specific quarter, but then I will also be reading other history stuff that doesn't necessarily belong to that quarter. I just love reading history in general. But so there are no like prompts where it's like, oh, a book that has this word on the title, or I don't know. I prefer the ones that are not so specific. I prefer prompts that are more like related to a type of book, rather than doing like specific titles or stuff. But those types of prompts are the ones that I enjoy because I think they are very fun. So I had been looking for a year-long readathon for 2026, other than Historathon, which is just like always going on. Like, you can just assume that I'm always doing Historathon, whether reading on quarter, whether reading Historathon adjacent stuff. So like I also enjoy looking for books that are from that specific time period. So either, like maybe some medieval fiction or medieval non-fiction. I read a biography of Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar one year, but written in the Middle Ages. Super funny. I don't know why my computer is going to sleep. It's making me nervous because it makes me think that I'm not filming. Oh my god, I hope it films. I hope it films, because if not, I won't do this video again. Anyway, so yeah, I'm always doing Historathon in the background. Or not in the background, but you know what I mean. I'm always doing Historathon stuff. Courses, online courses, um, in-person events, conferences, whatever. History-related stuff. So, other than that, I was looking for a year-long readathon. I think I've seen like all the announcements that I could find for year-long reading events. There's like the hardest challenge you'll ever do or something like that. There's one that's very similar to that one. There are some that have like maps and academies, and like you take the curriculum for the classes and like things like that. But I feel like those are very high maintenance. Like, they are too high maintenance for me. I just want like a low-key, chill, regular, old-fashioned 12 prompt readathon that you can do throughout the year. And of course, the perfect one is the one that I did last year, which is the Read Good challenge. Good read. No, read good. Yeah, read good challenge by Ben at Ben Reads Good. I'm opening the prompts. Hold on, I have them right here. See, the benefit of filming in my computer is that I can have my phone at hand, which is something I can't do when I film on my phone, and the iPad is honestly a pain to do for videos. Okay, Read Good Challenge 2020. Oh, okay. Well, it says 2024, but it hasn't changed the title, but it's the 2026. 2026. So it's like a regular, old fashioned, normal readathon with 12 regular, old fashioned, normal prompts that you can do. Last year, I just had a TBR and then tried to read books, but I didn't pay attention to the months necessarily. This year, I kind of do want to follow the months and read the specific book for the specific months for the challenge. It just sounds fun, and it's again more doable and more fun to me than the ones that are super complicated with a lot of rules. Those are super fun to watch, like videos, but they are very high maintenance to do. So I am going to talk about the Read Good challenge because again that's one of my main goals, and I did want to talk about it more at detail because I don't have a specific TBR for like the whole thing. I have some books that I have thought about that I want to read for specific prompts, but some I haven't really thought because I want to more focus on like each month reading the specific book for the specific prompt, and because I'm very much a mood reader in the sense that I read whatever I'm in the mood for. um, if I do a TBR, it doesn't make much sense when it's a year long because when I get to say October, I don't necessarily want to read whatever I picked, you know. So I want to. I have some that I know that I kind of want to read, but then others that I don't. So I'm going to read you the prompts and tell you the ones that I already know, and the others I will do as the year goes along. Okay, so for January, Ben loves punny titles, so they always have to do with the name of the month. So January, I was a bit heartbroken about this one because last year it was Annuary. So you had to read a book by an author named Anne. And I did have several Annes that I wanted to read from. I think I read Anne Patchett last year. And I was very excited for Annuary this year. And this year it got changed because apparently most people didn't like that prompt. But there are a few of us who love that prompt. So, the prompt is scranuary. Read a book with a food word in the title. So I am going to show you the one that I chose, but also because I loved Annuary so much, I kind of want to, I'll see if I can keep up with it, but I kind of want to do a personal Annuary. Whether just in January or just like in general throughout the year, read some Anne books. So the one I chose for Scranuary is funny because, just one thing. My other main challenge for this year, plan for this year is, as always, read from what I own. But I really don't want to keep it up this year. And so, for an extra added challenge for myself, for the Read Good challenge, I decided to pick only books either that I own, so like physically or digitally, or books I don't have to buy. So books I can access through Kindle Unlimited, Project Gutenberg, or Storytel, which is the audiobook app that I use. I was sure that I wasn't going to own a book with a food word in the title. I have books that have food related stuff. So, like kitchen, or I don't know, hunger, or taste, but not like a food item. And I don't know why, but that prompt, like it didn't really excite me in terms of like researching a book with I don't know why. So I really wanted to do one that I owned. So I was originally going to cheat. I'm not going to. I did find one. But I was going to cheat. I was because the first one that came to mind is a book I own, a fantasy book I own that in the cover it has a cupcake, and it's literally just the cupcake. So I was going to do that one and do like a cheating thing, but I actually, with the new books that I bought, that I received as gifts, actually, I picked one up because I was going to start it in December, and when I grabbed it, I was like, wait, this is a food item. And it is this one that I have right next to me. It's a children's graphic novel, Garlic and the Vampire. So this one is the Spanish edition, Spanish translated edition, Ajo y el Vampiro, but it's Garlic and the Vampire. And it's literally the only book I own in my entire physical and digital collection with a food item in the title. So that's the one I'm going to do for January. And then for a personal annuary, the three immediate authors that come to mind that I want to read, that I've been wanting to read forever, are Anne Patchett, but I already read her with Tom Lake. I want to read more from her because Tom Lake is now one of my all-time favorite books. I adore that book. And then the other two that I haven't read but I've been wanting to read for ages are Anne. Oh my god, why did I forget her name? I literally just Radcliffe. Oh my god, Anne Radcliffe. So the main one is the Mysteries of Udolpho that I do have on my Kindle, but then there's also the Italian that I have access to through audio. So one of the two. And actually, I'm currently reading Northanger Abbey, and in Northanger Abbey, the main character is obsessed with Mysteries of Udolpho. I was scared that he was going to spoil it for me. I was like, maybe I should just get on with it and read Mysteries of Udolpho in January. And then the other author is Anne Leckie. Anne Leckie is a science fiction author, and I've been wanting to read her for, again, ages. So I could read Translation State. Ancillary Justice, I think it's a duology that I also really want to read. But Translation State is a standalone to my understanding. I'm pretty sure there is a standalone. Okay, so I need to move it along because I think I've been talking for... This is why I edit my videos, because if I don't, they're over an hour long. I need to move it along if I want to keep up with the less editing goal. So, that was January. Okay, February is February. Rue as in R-O-O. February. Read a book by an Australian author. And I actually found the perfect one in a Best Books video that I watched, I think yesterday. Angela's Bookcase. She is Australian. And she talked about... Let me open it right here because I have it available through my audiobook app. So the app that I use in audio storytell, it's not like Audible where you have to, where it's like credit based. This one you pay a monthly fee and you can listen to however many books you want, and you have access to the entire library. So there's not like a, oh, you have access to the entire library except for the plus extra books. No, you have access to the entire library. And this one is available through there. So Angela talked about Rapture by Emily Maguire, and it's set in the 9th century. Say less, that's all you have to say. I'm already interested. But then it's about a girl who is the son of a priest, and she doesn't want to be a nun and she doesn't want to be a wife. So she pretends to be a man and she befriends a Benedictine monk so that he can help her dress up as a man so she can enter what's the word, not a convent, like like a monastery, and study. And so she becomes this famous scholar in Europe, but she's disguised because she's a woman. If that book doesn't scream Mariana, I don't know what does, and it's available in audio. Emily Maguire also has another one called Love Objects that also sounds like something I would like, and it's also available to me. So I guess I'll see which one calls to me most. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Rapture. Okay, so March. Oh my god, I'm so bad at making short videos. And I can't find my app. See, like, I can't make short videos for the life of me. Okay, March. What Oscar adapted? Read a book that has been turned into an Oscar-nominated film. I love this prompt. So I would have fun researching for this prompt, and I kind of wanted to like research some of the, like, find a book that no one was going to pick, because I'm me. And I was feeling kind of like doing a book from the categories of like either best costume, yeah, or best makeup, or best like scenography. Okay, if I am going to edit less, you're going to bear with me with my literal translations from Spanish to English, where I'm not sure if that's an English word. That was my idea, and I kind of still want to do that. But also, this year is the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen, and I am currently finishing Northanger Abbey, and I've already read Pride and Prejudice and Emma. And so I thought this would be a good year to read her novels. And Sense and Sensibility, as far as I know, I'm almost 100% positive that it won an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. So I'm thinking Sense and Sensibility would be a good one for March, but I'm also going to keep my options open for researching one of the lesser paid attention categories. I feel like costuming or setting, scenography. Those would be good for me because usually they are period dramas. Or makeup and, I don't know, fantasy, special effects, something like that. April, read a Women's Prize nominated book. Okay, for this one, I know what it's going to be. It's the one that I mentioned last year, Piranesi by Sussanah Clarke. I already own that one, and I've been wanting to read it since the year it won. I've told my sister I'm going to read it. I've told my friend who is her favorite book that I'm going to read it. I have to read it this year. May. Made to last. Read a book published before the year 2000. Most of what I read is published before the year 2000. So this is one that I'm keeping open for a mood read because really it's just the range of options is so big for me. So yeah. June, Reading Shame Forgiveness Month. And that is, as the title suggests, a book that you are ashamed that you haven't read. So read it in June because it's Reading Shame Forgiveness Month. So either a guilty pleasure of one or one of those where you're like, I can't believe I've never read that book. So I was thinking it might be fun to do a Mexican classic that I haven't read. So I was thinking maybe Pedro Páramo by Juan Rulfo, or The Labyrinth of Solitude by Octavio Paz, who is a Nobel winner and I've never read. So I think one of those two, and my dad for sure has them in his bookshelf upstairs. So July, Truly. Read a book based on a true story or real person. So it can be non-fiction or it can be fiction, but based on a true story or real person. And for this one, I kind of want to read Hild by Nicola Griffith, which is historical fantasy, which is my favorite subgenre of fantasy. But I always say nerdy historical fantasy. You know, the one that is like historical fiction where it's super researched, but it's fantasy. So Hild is based on a Hild that is not Hildegard von Bingen. It's another Hildegard, but I don't remember at the moment and I don't want to make this video even longer. But it's based on a real person. And if you look at the reviews, people complain that it's boring because there's too much history and too much research. So, again, sounds like a book I'm going to love. And it works perfect for this prompt. But I also love reading nonfiction and biographies and stuff. I could pick that if I'm in the mood for it. I feel like not keeping them open is going to be better for actually completing the challenge or completing it as most as I can. August, I love the prompt. It's a ghost. Read a book that features a ghost. I am thinking The Sentence by Louise Eldridge because I know there's a ghost, because I've been wanting to read it for ages, and because I have it available through Storytel. September is Read a Book by a Booker Prize shortlisted author. I'm pretty sure that Kazuo Ishiguro counts for this prompt. I'm almost sure. I would have to go through the list again, but I'm almost sure that he does. If he does, then I'm almost positive that Kazuo Ishiguro would be the author that I read. Either rereading Never Let Me Go. I reread The Remains of the Day a couple of years ago, and it was so good, so beautiful. It is now one of my all-time favorite books. I'll probably reread that book again at some point in my life. So I want to reread Never Let Me Go, but then also The Buried Giant is one by him that I've never read, that I started reading when I was in high school, that I thought it was boring to tears, but that now as an adult, it sounds like something I would love because it's like a older protagonists that are kind of not looking back, but and it's Arthurian based. I was just I don't know, I wasn't advanced enough in my tastes when I was a teenager as I am now, that I have such excellent taste. So that's September. Then October is Read a Work in Translation. And again, that's one of the ones that I want to keep open. But like as of now, today, I was looking through my bookshelf and there is one that I have that I can't remember the name of, but if I can, I'll put it up on screen. It's translated from the Japanese to Spanish, and it sounds beautiful. And that's the one that if I was choosing now, I would choose that one. But you know, who knows what I'll be in the mood for in October. And I have a bunch of translated books, adult fiction, um, adult graphic stuff, children's graphic stuff, children's books. I have a ton of translated stuff in my bookshelf. November is November. Read a book with an image of snow or ice on the cover. I only have two in my bookshelves at this moment. One would be a reread, which I would be all for because it's one of my favorite romance books. The other one is another romance that I bought because I was in the mood for it, and then I never read it, and I've never been in the mood ever since. And I don't know, I haven't gone through my digital stuff, but it's November. It will most likely be something Christmassy, I think. But I will keep it open so that I choose in November. And then December, I love this prompt. It's Dupe December. Read another book by an author you have read in 2026. So of course I can't choose now because it will depend on the authors I read in 2026. Of course I could say now, like, ooh, if I read Hild by Nicola Griffith, then I could read book 2 in the series, or I could read Spear by Nicola Griffith, or ooh, if I read The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro, I could reread Never Let Me Go. Or, ooh, if I read Pedro Páramo by Juan Rulfo, then I could read El Llano en Llamas or his letters. You know, I, like I have authors now in mind that I want to read. Again, and Leckie, if I read Translation State, I could read Ancillary Justice. But again, I'm going to keep it open for December to see what. Um, I I was very much looking forward to my December pick from last year, and I picked that in January, and it was still the one I wanted to read in December. But again, December, I'm doing the readathon for the local readathon, and also I was very much in the mood for like cozy romance, that type of thing, because it was Decembros or something like that last year, book about brothers. I wanted to read the letters of Van Gogh to his brother Theo. um, Hopefully I will read those this year. I'm not going to talk about books I hope to read this year because again, I've made this video long enough and I don't want to make it even longer. So I will finish off just with the third main goal challenge, which is just super quick because it's reading what I own, but in order to, I don't know, make it challenge-y and make it fun and see if I can keep up with it, I'm going to make a checklist. I'm For some reason it's more fun to me to do prompts when someone else is giving me the prompts. If I come up with the prompts, then I feel like it's not really, I don't know. So instead of prompts, what I'm going to do is a checklist based on the different types of books that I have. I mostly would like to focus this area of the challenge on the physical books because I almost never read physical books nowadays. I mostly read digitally, and that is for accessibility reasons. So before you start romanticizing paper books in the comments, it's because my neurological physical problems with my hands. Holding books is not as easy for me as it was, and my eyesight is I'm blind with this eye, and I don't have perfect, like I'm having deficient eyesight with this eye. So with a Kindle you can just put the font like way up. My phone already has the big letters. My Kindle has super big letters. So that's the reason why I usually don't read paper books. But I do have glasses that magnify a bit the words. And I've been having fun with paper books in this readathon that I'm doing in December. So I kind of want to, even though Kindle books would also count for this project, I kind of want to make it a purpose to read more of my physical books. Also because I keep buying them, even though I don't read as much, I keep buying them. So I'm going to make myself a checklist of books, like types of books I own. So for instance, like classics, graphic novels, graphic nonfiction, children's books, fantasy, history, I don't know, Mexican history, medieval history, um, coffee table books, poetry collections, essay. So like making those categories and making it a checklist so that I can be like reading widely from my bookshelf and checking off categories, like, oh, I read a poetry collection, oh, I read a graphic, oh, I read a history book, etc. So that's what I would plan to do for that challenge. And so those would be my main three reading goals: Historathon, read good challenge, and read what I own, focusing mostly on physical books, but also digital books counts. um, so yeah, I think that would be it for the moment. I was going to share with you a bit of the books that I'm reading for the readathon, but I'm not going to do that. You've been here long enough. You're going to have to put up with my rambling this year because one of my goals is to edit less, so there will be long videos, rambly videos, and that's just what you'll have to do. So there, that's my video, and I will see you with another video hopefully soon, either my giant book haul or my best books wrap up type of video. And after those you will see my history specific book haul. So thank you so much for watching. Have a happy New Year's Eve, happy start of the year, and I will see you around. And in the meantime, I wish you happy reading.